welcome to ICSOM's series of monthly videos to feature our musicians of color. I'm Paul Austin, ICSOM president and a horn player in the Grand Rapids Symphony. Today, I'm very happy to be speaking with violinist Dasol Jeong. Dasol attended college in New York State and has degrees from Juilliard, Eastman, and the Manhattan School of Music. She joined the New York Philharmonic in January 2019, so this month marks her 4th anniversary with the Philharmonic, and Dasol is their newly elected ICSOM delegate. Welcome, Dasol.
Thank you, Paul.
It's great to meet you, and congratulations on being the new ICSOM delegate for New York Philharmonic.
Thank you.
Sure. So we've got these 5 questions to ask you. Are you ready to get started?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Dasol, do you remember the first time that you heard an orchestra? Tell us about it.
So, I think it was when I was 7 or 8 years old. I remember like listening on a recording, Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto by Orchestra. And I think the orchestra was like Philadelphia with Ormandy conducting. Yeah, I mean the Tchaikovsky concerto has like the music is like so symphonic, the tutti orchestra section. So like even though I didn't know much about the violin and music at the time, I remember I was like so like thrilled to listen to this, like very excited and like wow, like what is this? Like what kind of music is this? And then I asked my parents about it, and then they were listening to Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto. So that's how I remember, listening for the first time orchestra.
So that might tie in with the next question, because I was going to ask, of all the orchestra, what led you to the violin?
Oh, actually, I started musical studies with piano initially. I started for like 1 year and then I switched to violin because I thought the violin had really special sound. Um, it almost like sounds like the voice of human, right? And the fact that we can do so much like technical stuff, we can play like double stops, chords, like all those different techniques that we can do on the bow. It made me really like excited to learn violin, and also the fact that we get to play the all the melodic lines in everywhere, even if it's orchestra or like chamber music setting. Yeah, so I like the violin. It's really fun.
That's great. So with all those solos and all those great melodies you're playing on the violin, was there an aha moment when you really discovered that you wanted to become a professional musician?
Professional musician. um I I don't know. I try to think about the aha moment, but when I look back on, my childhood and all those years of studying violin, I somehow always thought that I wanted to become a professional violinist since I started the violin. Like when we were in elementary school in Korea, we have to write like, oh, what's your dream, when you become an adult? We have to write that like every year. And then I remember when I look back, I always write, I wanted to become a violinist since I was like 6 years old.
You've been a member of the New York Philharmonic for 4 years. Is there a special concert that you'll always remember?
Yes. So I remember it was my trial week. So like one of the very first concerts with the New York Philharmonic. We played the Shostakovich Leningrad Symphony.
Mm.
Um, it's really long, really hard violin part. First violin part is really hard. And I was sitting right behind um, our concertmaster. So like second stand of the first violin section. And then my mute just popped and like it flew and landed onto the our concertmaster's feet, like in between his feet. And then it was so bad because like the whole page, like whole 2 pages, we had to play with mutes, and it's like the softest spot of the symphony. So like I started like shaking because I didn't want to be so exposed and stuff. Yeah, I that's why I remember. Also, it's a great piece, but that's a special moment that after the concert, like he turned around, he's like, Is it yours?
Oh.
But yeah, people made it really like fun and like it was not as scary. But for me, that time, as a very new member of the orchestra, it was like nerve wracking.
So your special moment is a special mishap.
Yes.
Oh gosh, well, if today's Dasol Jeong could give a piece of advice to herself during her student days, what would that be?
I think um try to go to the concerts as much as I could because being in New York City, I think that I didn't really take the advantage of going to so many great concerts. We always have great conductors and artists coming in to the city to perform with the orchestra. I was too busy like concentrating on studying and practicing. But if I could give a one advice, I think I would say just go out and have more fun. In terms of attending the concerts and stuff, I think they would have been very inspiring and eye-opening for me from the earlier stage.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that's advice I would have given myself too, definitely. So
Mhm.
it's not a question, but I bet by now some of the people watching are kind of wondering about your wallpaper.
So I came down to our children's lounge in our building
Yeah.
because this is the quietest spot that I can get.
Well, this is like bonus material. If you made it to this part of the video, you got to know the answer to what's up with the wallpaper. I like it actually. I'm a dog person. I think it's great.
Yeah, it's very cute.
Well, listen, with that, we wrap up our conversation with ICSOM musician Dasol Jeong. Dasol, thank you so much for sitting down today with ICSOM so we can get to know you a bit more.
Thank you, Paul.